The League of the Genuine is back, your favorite show that discusses the big but often ignored subject of counterfeits. As always, we try to bring you an assembly of persons, personalities, people who can come and deepen our understanding on the subject of counterfeits. Is another doctor. The last time we had Dr. Njoroge, the chief executive of the Anti-Counterfeit Agency from Kenya. But we are right here in Kampala with another Dr. Joyce Abariwano. She has a PhD in economics, so I think she's the right person who will be telling us why we have counterfeits when we have super economists like herself. Dr. Abariwano, Joyce, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Counsel.
you have so many titles. You are a lecturer, I believe, of economics at one of the biggest universities in East Africa, Makerere University Business School. At the same time, you told me you are a farmer. You're going to tell us what you are farming. Are you exporting to Europe? Or you are these farmers who from farm to fork? At the same time, you are a minister in the Wachabazinga Busoga Kingdom of Busoga, Minister of Gender, Women and Youth, big portfolio there. At the same time, you are a businesswoman. How do you manage to wear 4 hats in this country where unemployment is it 80%, 70%? Why are you taking all the jobs?
Wow, thank you very much. It's a nice one. I'm actually not taking, I'm starting the jobs and employing others.
You are doing job creation.
Yes, I'm doing job creation and employing others because unemployment is a problem for all of us. So we all have to find solutions to it. So whether you're employing one person, 2, 10, you are helping to reduce on that problem. So that is what I'm doing. I'm creating these jobs and then I bring in people to work.
And I can see with your African fabric that you are wearing, you are also creating jobs by supporting the local cottage industry.
Yes, I'm proudly Ugandan, proudly
African.
Minnesotan, proudly African. So I normally prefer to do things that way.
Where your conscience is clear.
Yes.
But this show deals with counterfeits. I'm just wondering, this kitengi you're wearing, is it also fake or at least this one is safe?
It is safe, but I have seen some fake ones.
How would you fake this? What do you do?
It is in the quality of the material and once you wash it, then the dye is out. That is when you will know that this is fake. Because, you know, I cannot know who the suppliers are, but I have been in places where I have also bought kitengi that you'll wash once and it will turn into a different color.
So the Africanness goes out?
Yes. So we have fakes in all sorts of products on our market, which should actually worry us, because there are very many implications.
Still on the kitengi, I watched a program one time, I think on CNN, and they were talking about the kitengi, which we know is big business in West Africa.
Yes.
And I think there was a program of kitengi production in Ivory Coast. But what surprised me was that the industry producing the kitengi in Ivory Coast was owned by some French people and some Chinese. What do you say to that for you as an economist? Is it because we Africans are prone to producing fake? Why do we let other people produce our own products?
We have some African producers who produce quality products, but we also have African producers who produce fake products, because sometimes fake products are easier to produce and they are cheaper. So
easier to produce because little controls.
Yes.
You don't have to meet stringent regulations.
Yes,
you don't pay tax.
Yes.
You are not a model employer. We
as Africans, we have become, consuming counterfeit has become sort of something that is really normal to us, because you're always looking for a cheaper option. And the cheaper option takes you to something that is not standard. For example, when you go to the market, a genuine Samsung maybe will cost you 1 million shillings. But there is one that is coming from some country that I'll not mention, and it is 200,000. You know it is going to work for a month and it will be off. But then you would prefer to buy one of 200,000, of 100,000, than buy a genuine one at 1 million shillings. I don't know whether that takes us back to the levels of poverty, or it is
It's a mix of things. But
it's a mix of things.
don't you think you economists are the ones making us Africans consume counterfeits in this sense? There are certain things you baptize. For example, you say black market, and we know counterfeits are sold in the black market. Why is that market black? Because black is beautiful.
Why shouldn't it be white? Yes.
Why don't you economists say white market? So you demonize the color black, and then you blame us for consuming counterfeit. This thing, black market, don't you think it's also sending a wrong signal to Africans that after all we are black, we go to black market and take fakes there?
I don't think the initial intention of black market items were to sell counterfeit. Maybe were to sell second hand, maybe what the initial could not have been to sell counterfeit. But as the world develops over time, we are having a mix of so many products that everything that is counterfeit is in the black market. But I don't think the initial was really to sell the low quality products. It could have been to sell products that maybe have been used, but along the way we have.
Yeah, but I think that maybe it is a wrong use of the word black.
The word black.
Because black is beautiful.
Yes.
So maybe economists, you go and call a meeting of economists from today onwards. Counterfeits can be sold in a white market, yellow market, green market. It should not be called black market.
And that takes research after research, and your findings you disseminate, and then that will change.
Because I saw the word black market was first used in 1930s.
Yes.
I think some person.
Yes. So it
came
will
up
take
with
research.
it, and you also accepted it.
It will take research on the emotional instability the word black market is causing to so many people.
As a black man, I reject the word. I'm thinking I know on this platform that counterfeits are sold in white markets,
Yes.
yellow markets,
Yes.
gold markets, even we have gold.
Yes.
Can you talk of a black market for gold? I don't know. Anyway, we are here to try and pick your mind and learn from you as a very learned person. This menace of counterfeits. For your masters, you did economic policy management. First of all, is counterfeiting an economic policy management issue?
Yes, it is. It is because there is an economic cost when we don't do things the right way. When we counterfeit, there is an economic cost to the economy, because it means instead of you buying that coat and it is going to take you for 2 years, after 3 months you have to buy another coat, which is an expense on you, an expense that you would otherwise not have incurred. Maybe that money you would have put it on something else, but now you're having to do something over and over because you have bought a poor quality product. So yes, there is an economic cost, and it definitely affects our growth levels.
But if counterfeit is an economic policy management issue, why is it that, one, you don't teach about it, two, we don't have it in our national budget, for example? This year, the minister mentioned counterfeit. We don't include it there. Three, for example, in your master, in your PhD, you are looking at the technical efficiency of maternal health.
Maternity health maternity units.
Maternity units. Why is it that the academia has not embraced this menace of counterfeits as a point of learning? Is it because it's not very attractive? Why doesn't it feature? Maybe that is where, as economists, probably you have missed something.
I cannot say we are not teaching it. I think we're just silent on it. It happens, as I said, we have normalized it. It's like though we have normalized corruption. So we don't even have to tell students about corruption. But when you give a question, students will bring the word corruption as a part of anything. Do we think when you can't afford the most expensive, there's a cheaper option? So it sort of becomes a normal issue, and it is not something you are going to put in the curriculum, for example. And yet, these are things that we should be talking about in class, because we know counterfeits are everywhere and in all forms. I don't know that they're also fake people, but in all forms. And,
even the economics exams you said,
yes,
there are fakes in there. Some exams are leaked. You have some people having degrees in economics which are fake. You check, you have never issued it.
yes,
It is even eating the profession, the teaching profession, the education sector. So much so that it should not be ignored.
all sectors: education, agriculture, health. And as I was doing my PhD, we realized that the quality of equipment in the hospitals has a very big impact on the quality of service. If the quality is low, then the quality of service will definitely be low. We have seen situations where when you want to cannulate someone, you are using like three cannulas.
You are pricking, small kids, they
yes.
prick, but the nurses say they can't find the vein.
Sometimes it is on the quality of the product. We have seen situations where you use a drip and somehow the drip cannot run, so they have to keep changing it, or something.
All those are fakes.
Yes.
You found them when you're doing your PhD.
Yes. And
what was your recommendation?
The recommendation was we need to improve on the quality of equipment. Of course, I did not personally use the word counterfeit, but I was looking at the quality of health equipment, because once we have the right quality, we'll have quality service. Look at this nurse who has to cannulate a child or a mother, and then they have to use like 5 of them. And they have to report that they have used the 5 in just one treatment, because the injection is either faulty or the tube itself is not running. So I was looking at quality, and certainly one of the recommendations was that we should have quality equipment.
Improvement there. And yet, doctor, what you're talking about is not as simple as a cannula. It is equivalent to, in this country, we lose about 200,000 children below the age of 5. They die from preventable diseases, diarrhea, pneumonia, malaria. And yet, on the market, we have a lot of fake anti-malarials. So your research was touching something very sensitive.
We even have fake mama kits.
Fake mama
kits. A mama kit is that kit that a pregnant woman should have. It has certain items that every pregnant woman should have. As they near the time of delivery, they should have this kit.
So what is in there?
We have cotton wool. There must be gloves. There must be some syringes, emergency. There must be a piece of cloth that receives the baby, 1 or 2. So we also have fake.
And that is also faked.
Yes.
So how does it get into the health facility? Doesn't the doctor check it before?
These days, I see mama kits that are already packed. At the time when I was still giving birth, we bought these things and made a mama kit. But these days, I see mama kits that are already packed.
Pre-packed.
Yes. So they come when they're already pre-packed. So you open it and then you find that it does not have all the items that are supposed to be.
Or if it has, some of them are fake.
Yes. The cotton wool is not nice. The gauze that is supposed to be there is the one that, is sort of fluffy, So it is not to the quality that it's supposed to be.
Doctor, we need to take a break. We return for the second segment. We're back with the second segment of the League of the Genuine Conversations. Here we are in discussion with Dr. Joyce Abaliwano. She's a lecturer at MUBS University. She's an economist. She was signing off on the first segment saying the mama kit for the kids is also faked. You see here on this platform, we think that counterfeiting is not the simple offense that we make it appear to be. We actually think that counterfeiters are economic terrorists, because if you can target an innocent young baby or even those who are unborn, do you agree? Would it make sense to you as an economist? These are economic terrorists?
I agree, because I know that we are all looking at moving to the middle income status. When we have so
By
many
hook or crook.
by hook or crook, and when we have so many of these fakes, it affects our growth. It means that the little disposable income that our people have, they are spending it on buying the same product over and over and over, you know, because you have bought a shoe at the park, you put it on, you move a short distance, and the sole is off. So you have to go back and buy another, or else you'll walk barefooted. Now, you came to town with your 10,000, you know, you'll buy your shoe, and then this shoe will take you 6 months, maybe it'll take you a year. But within a short time, you have to buy another. So you had planned to spend 10,000. Now you're spending an extra 10,000.
Okay, that is on the effect on the economy.
Yes.
But counterfeits kill.
Yes, and then they kill.
Counterfeits kill. So
Yes.
a terrorist kills.
Yes.
For us, we have written to the International Criminal Court and suggested that counterfeiting of medicines, counterfeiting of food should be included in the crimes against humanity. Why? Because when you give fake baby milk, for example, and it affects a whole community of babies, you're no different from
Someone
Lord's
who was
Resistance
shooted,
Amekony,
yes, yeah.
who is going to kill 1,000 people. You think that also can make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
That is
It
a
does
crime,
make sense.
can be a crime against humanity.
Milk, syrups,
And by the way, what's your experience as a mother?
yes.
Because you could be talking here when for you as a doctor of economics, you know where to buy the genuine, you're not a victim of these things. Have you been a victim of counterfeiting, for example, as a mother?
Yes, I have. Many years back when I had my second child, these coughs, the frequent coughs. So you go to the hospital and they prescribe a syrup. So on many occasions, this young man was taking syrups. And when the teeth started coming out,
The milk teeth,
the milk teeth,
they are white and shiny.
no, they are brown, they are broken, they were actually not full teeth. So
Your
when
baby didn't get milk teeth, proper milk teeth.
yes,
Why?
when
how
I
did they
asked, the doctor said it was the effect of the syrups. The too much sugar had affected the teeth, so that's why they were all presenting that way.
What color were they?
They were brown, like you see teeth
Brown,
that are
black.
coated, yes, coated with something, and then some were even too small. They are broken and they are not regular and they are not. And he had to live like that till about 6-7 years, when he started removing the milk teeth and the permanent teeth started coming in. So many of these syrups, we use them, but they have so many issues to our
If
children.
they do not have the right specifications
Yes.
and right, if they do not meet the public health standards. So you're saying we have syrups actually.
Yes.
The young mother out there, how are you advising the young mother now? Because you can't know. One of the issues we have there, the drivers of counterfeiting, is that people cannot differentiate.
Yes.
How are we supposed to help ourselves? From your experience, what is the right syrup? What do we do?
Here I talk about two types of mothers. There is the urban mother who can afford the German-made, the England-made syrup. But I am looking at this mother in the village who gets a prescription and goes to the shop and buys the syrup. This mother cannot differentiate between a good syrup and one that is not good. Remember, the doctor who has written this prescription is sort of a god to this because it's going to save the child. So we need to do a lot of sensitization on the different kinds of counterfeits that we have. Because in the rural, not many people have information. They will think it is...
Whatever
it is
came
nice
from
one.
the town, whatever
Yes.
is packed is good.
Yes.
you now have a platform, doctor, to sensitize. Make a pitch for the young mothers, for example, on Pampers, for example, on there are these Panados they pack in syrups. I'm sure there are issues there as well.
There are many issues. I was talking to one of my students recently who had a child who convulsed. They gave a Panado and the Panado was not working. And then the child convulsed and then they had to run and then they had to use some other, you know.
And maybe the child became anemic.
Yes. There are many medicines that are in our pharmacies, but they are not genuine. Many of the Panados, I have seen my mother take like 6 Panados in one go. And she keeps saying, I still have headache, I still have headache, you know. And yet the medical people tell us.
The Panado we know,
yes,
the authentic, genuine Panado.
Yes.
You take it in 30 minutes.
You're okay, you know. And the medical people tell us that you are not supposed to take a lot of Panado because it affects your what? It affects your kidneys and it affects your liver and, you know. So when someone takes 6 and you still have a headache, then there's something wrong with that Panado.
But so, right there, doctor, in that issue of your mother takes 6 Panado and does not feel well, who is to blame? The manufacturer of Panado? Your mother who did not report the fake Panado? The regulator who allowed the fake Panado on the market? Where is the fault line?
We are all to blame, including my mother who is not reporting. But the regulator here has a bigger role to play. Because these items pay tax to URA. Meaning the regulator should come in at this level and make sure that the quality of the product
on the market
is what is supposed to be.
So this is your message to National Drug Authority,
yes,
Bureau of Standards,
yes,
URA.
Yes.
What about, because Panado manufacturer is listening now, and I hope they contact us or contact you. What about the manufacturers? Whereas they may not be the ones manufacturing the fake, but don't they have a responsibility to protect us if the fake is found on the market because it bears their name?
As you rightly introduced, I'm a businesswoman. And when I do business, if someone is counterfeiting my product, I will take keen interest in trying to correct my name. So, if you are a manufacturer, a genuine manufacturer of Panado, and you know there is fake Panado on the market, then you should take keen interest in this subject. Because your business goes down because of someone who is manufacturing, who is duplicating your product. So you should take keen interest. So for all the organizations where we are seeing counterfeit products, they should take keen interest in the quality of product that is out there. If it is water, if it is injections, if it is soda, take keen interest.
Take keen interest. But doctor, you are a minister in one of the big kingdoms in Uganda, the Busoga Kingdom, and you are talking about taking keen interest. Maybe share with us some of those campaigns or programs you have, like a Chigangu cha Busoga, where you are targeting the youth, the women. How are your programs there affected by counterfeits, and how are you tackling that menace? What does the Chigangu cha Busoga do?
The Chigangu cha Busoga is a forum of children. It's where we give the children a voice to speak. It's where we train the children in our cultural values, but it is also where we do short-time skilling for our young people. And in one of the programs, we do backyard gardening for our young people, because in the region, many of our children are dropping out of school because of lack of scholastic materials. Genuinely, some parents are poor and they cannot afford. So we are saying, how about in a home we all participate? And in this participation, let the parent look for the school fees, and let the children do some activities in the home that bring in some money. So we've been training our young people to do backyard gardening. And we had created a number of young people. Where did we land into issues? Quality of the inputs, the agro inputs. We know that these days everything you have to spray. Sometimes you go to buy the seed, it's fake, and it doesn't come out of the ground. When it comes out of the ground, you have to spray. You buy the spray, and it is fake. Instead of helping your item germinate properly, it withers. I'm a farmer myself, and the time when the armyworm was, you would buy very expensively. You go and spray
The pesticide.
the pesticide, and you spray, and the worm
And the armyworm is smiling.
It is just smiling at you, wondering
saying,
what you are
"What's
even doing."
This joker.
Yes, you know. And look at this young man who has saved 300,000 to start a small garden. And this happens. It happens the first time, it happens the second time. The third time, this person will not want to go into agriculture. And you know, we have so many young people who are unemployed. Agriculture is one of the sectors where we can encourage them to be. But
And absorb them.
And absorb
So
them.
when it fails, when
When it
counterfeits destroy his
Destroy,
dream
yes.
in producing anything, they now resort coming to the town to drive border borders,
Yes.
to enter into crime,
Yes.
to do drugs.
Yes. Because now they're idle. So some of them had to sell the small piece of land to buy a border and get to the urban center to drive, to ride the border. So this project that would otherwise have taken on so many young people failed because we were not sure of the quality of
So
the
you are
agro-inputs.
now attributing counterfeits as one of the major impediments
Yes.
to the development of Busoga, to the development of Uganda, to the development of Africa, and a lot of the poverty we have. We
Yes.
should blame it on counterfeits.
Yes, because if someone is poor and they try to do something and then they hit a roadblock and there's even no regulator to come around and help, that's why you find that now so many people are going into products that don't require too much fertilizer, too much pesticide, too much, because we know it's very, very difficult.
That is if they stay.
Yes.
So many of our young people, including from Jinja and all these places, are boarding the plane
Yes.
and going into modern day
Slavery.
They call it slavery also in economics.
Yes.
So you think counterfeits are also responsible for the drove of young Africans going to the Middle East to do jobs, some Africans crossing the Mediterranean and dying in there? Do you think there's a counterfeit push there?
If you don't have what you're doing in Uganda and you think there's an opportunity elsewhere, you harness that opportunity. And that is what is happening. Sometimes the opportunities are not so good. But what is the alternative? So for me, I feel like these young people who are going out there, it's a cry for help. And I think government should come up and really listen. It's a cry for help. Because some of them are really not
It's
in
not
good...
that they are not patriotic.
Yes. They are not in good condition, but it's really a cry for help. So we should all listen and know that there is something that is driving our young people away. What can we do as a country to keep them here? Because some of them are degree holders and they're going to be in those houses.
To be a maid.
To be maids, to be shamba boys, to be security.
Doctor, you're saying we need to sort our economics
Yes.
to fight the issue of counterfeits.
Yes.
We need to take a break. We're back with the third and last segment of this League of the Genuine Conversations. Dr. Joyce Abaliwano, PhD in economics, but also a farmer. Some people think that when you're sold land, you don't go to the garden to, but it's very nice to know that you're a farmer. We left when you were describing the problem in agriculture, the seeds die and so on. But don't you think that maybe a change in our lifestyle, for example, when we were kids, guinea, they used to pound, and then your mother or your whoever is about to cook. These days we're too lazy to pound the guinea on our own. We go and buy already already made guinea. Do you have an experience with fake guineas like that? And do you think this change this lifestyle, this convenience, I hear we are modern, is also promoting counterfeits? Your experience there?
In one way or the other, it is, because these days, as someone who cooks, you find the prepared nuts, but then it has beans. They have mixed nuts and beans, and they have ground them together.
That's what they do?
Yes.
Some of them?
Yes. So when you cook, you can actually see it will have a certain sort of oil on top, but that oil is not the oil from the nuts, it's the oil from the beans. Now, I know over time when you consume this, there will be so many health issues that come with it. Remember that in Uganda, we are still grappling with the issue of our grains not being safe.
They have aflatoxins.
Yes. So
even
now,
the storage.
Even the storage.
You're buying the nut mixed with beans.
Yes.
Is it refrigerated? Is it maybe even it's getting molds?
Yes.
As you're eating it? And
also the machines that they are using to grind, they keep having those steel parts breaking
so
off.
metal pieces
fall into the nuts. So it's a combination of many things. So you eat, over time, you'll have a health complication, and then you'll say, but where did it come from? Not knowing that you have been consuming this for such a long time.
The reason I asked you the peso and the way we used to do the nuts is because you are also pushing a revival of culture in Busoga Kingdom. And that peso and mortar was part of our culture.
Yes.
That's how we prepared our groundnut paste. So do you think this counterfeiting is also eroding into our culture, eating it away? And if so, how? Apart from this mortar and peso.
It is. There are many things that we are changing the way we do business, because we want to do things very fast. You know, as children, it was our role to do the pounding of the nuts. So it took you maybe an hour or two to pound the nuts to the required level. These days, we don't do that anymore. You want to go and buy something that is already made. You know that when we were young, the boys were supposed to go and milk the cows. And you get milk fresh from the cow to the kettle and to the table. These days, you want to buy milk that is ready. Processed. But there is milk that is well processed, but there is also milk that we are buying that has been mixed with a number of things. People are boiling milk and putting posho. People are boiling milk.
They put cassava, they put water, and then they put blue band.
Yes.
So when you cook, you see some cream.
Yes.
You say, oh, this milk is...
Yes.
And it's blue band.
And it's blue band. So, because we are not doing things the way we used to do them. We are not, you know, our parents used to eat food that was not fried. We are changing all this. And because we are changing all this, definitely it affects us. Have you seen the quality of cooking oil that we have now? You'll find someone who is cooking chips, the cooking oil of yesterday and the one of today, they mix it together and they prepare. And trust me, the smell of the chips will not be the same as that prepared with clean cooking oil. So we are trying to cut so many corners.
But it's because of you, the economists. You tell us, you measure our success in terms of economic growth, profitability. You say a large taxpayer. You know, this one is a large taxpayer. The profits have gone up. You're not telling us how these profits are being made by the companies. Don't you think economics needs to turn on its head and say, if you are growing while selling counterfeits, we shall not register that growth?
It may be difficult to trace some from the production point, because some of the adulterations are made after the product has left the factory. You produce proper tomato sauce, and as it comes out, someone else adds water in the tomato sauce. It is not the factory that has added the water. It is this user, because he wants to have a jerrycan of 5 liters turn into 8 liters. You get it? So it's adulterated from outside. So as much as we want to be able to engage at production level, we also have to do mindset change for the users outside the factory. because there are so many users now that are adulterating so many things, because you don't want to be buying a jerrycan of tomato sauce all the time. So you'd prefer that you use 1 jerrycan for 2 days. So you add 3 liters of water.
Yeah, but adulteration, I know of some manufacturers who are packing some beverages, popular beverages on the market, and they're putting in a lot of nitrogen. And so that is what people are consuming. So I think the corruption, which you said you don't have to teach your students about, the corruption presented as counterfeits has gone from point of manufacture to our homes.
And that is when the regulator comes in. What is the regulator doing? You are saying for every product that is manufactured, you need a stamp,
A quality mark.
a quality mark.
But the quality mark is just put on the packaging.
We
and
have,
that bottle, after emptying the contents, you can put another, it will still have a quality mark.
we have even seen fake quality stamps on these bottles. So they have already been duplicated by some other people. So it's not that every quality stamp that you see is a genuine one. And this is something that really the regulators should
But
take
now,
action.
as a lecturer of economics, so how are you teaching your students now that what are the factors of production? Because what we used when I was doing economics, the factors of production are what? Capital, land, entrepreneurship. You know, those were the factors. So how are you able to teach about the factors of production without including counterfeits? What are you teaching? Because counterfeiting is a major factor that will decimate whatever notes you're giving me as a student. They'll be washed away.
Now, counterfeiting, these are what we call the emerging issues.
Imagine, yeah.
Emerging issues. As we teach, we have the standard, but we have emerging issues that are now distorting what would otherwise be a genuine and good situation. Just like you see, the original studies in oil and gas never looked at the environment. But now you can't go into exploration without considering. So counterfeit, corruption, these are the emerging issues in many sectors that we all need to tackle,
To
address. Because when we don't address, then it affects the quality of everything that we do.
We are lucky that we are having some rain during the show. Uganda is such a blessed country. We have good food, we have good fruits. One time I was traveling to the Middle East, and when I told my host that I'm from Uganda, he says, oh, that's a country with very good fruits. And he mentioned the passion fruit. But I was shocked to learn that you've been a passion fruit farmer and you have left the passion fruit farming. Why?
I have left because I could not find the right seed and I could not find the right inputs. Because for passion fruits...
Are you saying that you are a passion fruit farmer and there are also fake passion fruit seeds?
Yes. Yes.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Fake passion fruit seeds are from where?
They are there in the farmers, in the shops that are selling farm products. So you will not know. You will not know that it's fake. But you buy, you put it in the ground, and it doesn't come out of the ground.
What do you get instead? You get a papyrus
It just does
or what?
not come out. It just does not come out. And if it does, sometimes it doesn't fruit. If it fruits, sometimes it will produce a fruit that is already infected.
Traditional again. Let me go back to tradition. I think in the past, we used to have renewable seeds of passion fruit. Meaning you didn't go to a shop to buy a passion fruit. You got the fruit, dried some of the seeds and planted again. What happened to those passion fruits?
So many things have happened. I don't know, because of maybe technology. We want to make better seeds. We want to make seeds, genetic
they call
seeds
it what? Genetically modified
seeds, yes, that are disease resistant, that are drought resistant, and as a result, we change a number of things. Right now, we have maize on the market that you can only grow once. You can't grow maize and keep it and say, I'll plant it the next season.
But
You
isn't
go-
that taking away our power over our food sovereignty and food security?
Yes.
Because my grandmother, your grandmother used to have the seed stored for the
Yes.
next season's planting. But now they have to buy.
Yes.
So how did you economists come up with this
For
thing?
every season, you have to buy. It is actually the agriculturalists who are trying to improve.
But they're also agriculture economists.
The
Your
agriculturalists.
friends, the agriculture economists, they replaced our renewable seed with a seed we go and buy, which turns out to be fake sometimes. What economics is this?
There's a lot of research in Naro, in Namlonge, and all these agricultural places to try and improve the quality of seed, to try and have
And
seed
boost
that
food production. Maybe the
Yes.
idea was to boost
food production,
food
yes, and have shorter gestation and have, but along the way you find that there are some products that you cannot replant. You plant it once. That is where the counterfeiters also get a chance to bring in their fake seed, because you think that since you are planting it once, then it will be genuine. That's where
But
all these
doctor,
ones
you
come
also
in.
gave up on planting matoke. And I don't know why you still call yourself a farmer. Why did you give up on matoke as well?
Matoke, I don't know. I don't know that people even believe, but I have ever bought suckers that never left the ground. I put them in the ground.
Matoke,
Yes.
you put it in the
You
ground.
plant it,
And what happened?
and it does not come out.
I think your soil is not fertile. Doctor, the problem, you are a PhD holder, you don't know how to farm. Maybe you plant on the veranda, on the rock, and how can you put it in the ground and it doesn't come out?
It happens. And until you have experienced this, some things are just too
Where
funny.
did you get these fake matoke suckers?
You'll hear on the radio, so and so is selling suckers. So you think it's a genuine place, you go and do what? And buy. Only to get to plant, you wait 3
Now,
months,
don't
6
you
months.
go back to that radio and grab their neck and say you advertised a fake? Or tell me that man who advertised or that shop. Don't you ever report?
No.
Or you have too much money, you just give up?
We don't report because, as I said, we have normalized counterfeiting. We have normalized.
So you
it.
think in Dankani, normalcy,
Yes.
it is normal, that's how
is,
it is.
Yes.
What shall we do?
You now just go back
We
to the
have
market
surrendered.
and bring more. Or you go and find from another source. We have just sort of surrendered. And because the regulators are also silent, you say, who am I to start making
But should
noise?
we surrender, doctor?
We should not surrender. We need all actors on board. We need all actors on board, and we need to do serious mindset change programs on the issue of counterfeit, because not all of us understand them. Some of our sisters and brothers who are in the rural areas don't even understand what we are talking about, because for them it is the order of the day. They eat fake everything, and it's the order of the day.
Your message to them, is it okay to eat fake?
It's
to
not
take
okay.
counterfeit?
It's not okay to eat fake. That's why we should do a mindset change program.
But some
on
people say,
counterfeit.
oh, those things which are genuine are for the Europeans and so on. For us Africans, we have strong bodies, we can eat anything. I have traveled many times abroad, and I visit some Africans who will take expired things. Then they say that is for the white people. For us, we can take expired. Is it, as you say, mindset? Is there something we need to tell ourselves as Africans, that we are equal to other world citizens and that we are entitled to have the best like other human beings? Do we view ourselves as lesser human beings?
Sometimes it is the way you view yourself. When you view yourself as less, then you do things that take you as less. So that's why we need a mindset change program on many issues, but on counterfeits. It is very, very, very important. We need to spread this information far and wide, because many of our young people, many of our mothers, many of our grandparents are dying, because it has so many health implications when you eat the wrong items, whether it's food, whether it is soda, whether it is, in some of the businesses in entertainment that I do, you buy products and then you find
whiskey.
Yes, some bottles are half, you find some bottles don't have gas, you find some, but you even have no one to report to. Because remember, you have bought from a depot, and there are so many, the value chain is so long that this depot has not bought from the factory.
It bought from another dealer.
It bought from another dealer. And this dealer also bought from another dealer. So you don't even know who to go back to. So that is a loss on your side.
Which drinks in your leisure business have you found which are fake?
Actually, customers complain about differences in beers. That the taste.
Some is expired, I know.
Yeah, you'll have a brand from one company, same brand, same 2 bottles from the same company, tasting differently, and the customers will complain. They have complained about some sodas that don't taste nicely. So
whiskey.
Yes, but we don't have anyone to report to, and it is even worse for items that come from out of the country, because you don't have to. There are so many people in the value chain. You are bought from this small depot on the village,
and you have nowhere. Maybe I need at this point to tell the viewers that this platform is going to organize a report back platform for the consumer, so that if you have an encounter with a fake product, you are able to report. You give us the details, the receipt, the location, so that we can interface with the brand and demand redress. So it's not as if it is hopeless. But before we forget, we are closing. Remember, you said you're a farmer, and so far you've given up on passion and matoke. So you're going to leave people thinking you're not a farmer.
And oranges.
And oranges. Are you still a farmer then? Seems Counterfeits just you out of agriculture. What are you farming?
Yes, I'm still a farmer. Even oranges, I ran out because I actually bought the wrong seedlings from a person I really trusted. But when they came out, they already diseased.
You are saying a person you used to trust.
Who I used to trust.
Okay.
And he had very big nurseries because he was supplying to these government programs. So I thought, if I go and buy, I'll be able to. And almost I lost a whole acre of oranges. I had to cut them down.
How much was that?
An acre of
oranges.
Of oranges. That is more than 300 plants in that acre. So that's a lot. Because you're buying
dollars.
Yes.
But so at least you're doing sugarcane.
So now I'm doing sugarcane.
Are there effects in sugarcane?
Now the effects in sugarcane would come from the fertilizers that we use when we are planting, the initial planting. Because in the initial planting you need fertilizer. So that is where they would come in. If you don't get the right DAP, if you don't get the right NPK, then you'd be in problems. Because then you'll put in the ground and the cane would just dry.
So meaning maybe even some of the sugar that we are taking that is produced from fake inputs, fake fertilizers, we don't know what kind of sugar it is. Sugar cane, if you produce, what juice do you get out of that?
Yes, we don't know. And I don't know whether you have noticed that now you need a little bit more spoonfuls of sugar in a cup.
We used to put 2. Okay, I stopped taking sugar.
Yes, but now
it used to be 2.
You need a little bit more for you to test.
That's why I see some people at the office, they put 6 spoons,
yes.
And you think the guy is mad.
No.
The sugar is fake.
Yes, you need a little more. So it means there's something about the quality of the sugar that you now need more. As a mother, I buy sugar. And now 1 kilo of sugar takes you a shorter time.
Wow.
Because people are putting in a little bit more than they used to.
So I want to Kristen you. You are a doctor of economics, but if I say you're a doctor against counterfeits, is it a right assessment as you close?
Yes, I'm against.
A doctor against counterfeits.
Yes.
What are you telling the people as we close?
We need to come together as a country to fight this vice. It's a big vice that will consume all of us. It has far-reaching health effects on us, and some of these health effects are very, very expensive to treat. For some of us who come from regions where people are very poor, if someone told you you have cancer and you don't have the money to treat, it is like they're telling you, go home and die. So we all need to come up. We all need to be on the same table on the issue of counterfeits. Let us not promote them. Let us try to report wherever they exist. And let us amplify our voice.
Some people say China developed because of counterfeits. Can we develop with counterfeits? Genuine development?
No, I don't think we can develop with counterfeits. because there is the health effect. We are going to spend a lot of money treating people. So, however much we want development, if people are sick, we are going to spend a lot more money. And for an economist, we want to make sure that we spend less on health. So that those that go to the hospital are really those that are required to go to the hospital. But if our young people are getting diabetes, are getting cancers at 15, at 16, it means you're going to spend a lot more money. Those who are supposed to be diseases of old people, you know, but now we're having young people who get these diseases, so we spend a lot of money treating them.
Those are the words of Dr. Joyce Abaliwano. She is a PhD holder. I'm happy to know that you're a PhD holder. I saw you 15 years ago when you were at Milo level, but now you've overtaken me. She says, say no to fake development, say no to counterfeits. The gains that you make, the money that you make from buying, selling counterfeits will be lost in the huge costs that you'll pay on treating yourself, maybe even losing your life. We are buying counterfeits cheaply and paying the price with our lives. We would like to thank you for being a good audience. As always, remember, this is the only program on the planet that tackles the important but often ignored subject of counterfeits. We thank you for subscribing. If you've not, if you're new here, please do subscribe. If you like what we have shared with you, don't mind share. You can put a notification, you can put a reminder, so that every Friday at 8 you have a date with us. Remember, this program is for all of us, because an informed consumer is an empowered consumer. Don't be fake, buy and sell genuine always.